Welcome back to the Bottom of the Line podcast, where we talk all things NBA basketball. It will be a two-man show today between me and Darian. Uh, so hopefully you guys enjoy the show today. We have a lot of things to talk about as we have not recorded an episode in quite a while. So this will be probably a longer episode, so bear with us and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So a lot of basketball, a lot of playoff basketball to talk about, a lot of coaching changes, rumors. We'll start off with the playoffs. We'll start off with the playoffs though. So the playoffs, the first round has wrapped up for every series. It just wrapped up yesterday, and second rounds for some of the series have started. So um, for let's start off with the series that just wrapped up. Clippers versus Mavericks Game 7 just happened, and the Clippers won Game 7 by 15 points in a game where Luka Doncic had 46, 14, and 7, and no one else really came to play. People did score in double digits, but he didn't really have that much help on his team. Whereas for the Clippers, you had Kawhi, Paul George, and Marcus Morris all score 20 plus points. And then contributions from Reggie Jackson and especially Terrence Mann, who made up for the missed layup or not attempted layup in Game 4, allowed the Clippers to win this series. What are your thoughts on this series?
So, I really wanted the Mavs to win. I thought they were the better team because of Luca, and I still do think that the Mavs, at their best, are a better team. They just weren't consistent. It was basically just Luca, and Luca had, I guess, like two off games. The Clippers had their best game of the season in Game 7, and they won by 15. It was a close 15, though. Like, the game basically became over in the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. Um, the issue I have with the Clippers moving forward is I don't know how the rotations are going to work against the Jazz because the Jazz have two bigs and one of them's Gobert. They play him a lot. The Mavs don't have like one center that they play a lot. They have Kristaps, who isn't really a center. He's kind of trash. But I don't know how they're going to run Zubats with these shooters because you can't have a 10-man rotation in the playoffs. It would be 11 man. They had a 10-man rotation last night. So no, was it last night? Yesterday afternoon. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't expect them to beat the Jazz. The Mavs, unfortunate, they had leads basically at all points. They were never trailing in the series until now. But yeah, I'm not impressed by the Clippers though. The Mavs aren't a great team. Outside of Luca. Uh, so I guess second round exit for the Clippers this year too.
So you have them losing to the Jazz?
Yeah, I do.
That's interesting. I think if the Jazz were beating the Mavericks, I would have taken the Jazz to be honest. But I don't know. I look the Clippers. I think have beaten the Jazz all the times that they've played them this season. if I'm not mis- But yeah, it was a great series to watch. Very back and forth. It was very weird with the whole home court situation. No one really won on their home floor until Game 7, and yeah, I think Kawhi really showed up in these. I mean, Kawhi has been really good this whole playoffs, but that game 6 was amazing, and then he closed the deal in this one. Marcus Morris playing well is a good sign because he was really not doing much this whole series apart from Game 7. Um, yeah, and Reggie Jackson actually stepped up really well. Paul George was not a choker in this series. And for the Mavericks, man, apart from Luca and Tim Hardaway Jr., who didn't really play well in Game 7, but was really their second best player this whole series. No one really showed up. They had sprinklings from Dorian Finney-Smith. Chris Stapps did not play well. Um, and yeah, that really didn't have much. So what are your thoughts about the Mavericks going forward? What do they have to do?
If the Mavs play it right, they'll have a lot of money in the off season. I think you move on from Chris Stapps. You don't lose a trade, but because he is always injured and he doesn't fit with Luca, I think you need to get a center who's like always in the paint. For Luca, who isn't like too high valued, you can get him for maybe around 10 million. Montrez is kind of short, but like his play style, like a grit, a guy who tries a lot, he hustles a lot. But he's a little undersized, which is the issue, and he's gonna be a free agent. He's not gonna take the player option with the Lakers. Maybe him again. He is short. If they can play him with like Maxi at the four, maybe I'm not sure. They need to try to pay Tim Hardaway unless he like wants to get a lot. He's making 18, and I don't think they can give him that again. He is a
No,
great player.
he's getting it back.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can keep him, but like if he's gone, Luka's still on his rookie deal until next offseason. He's gonna sign an extension, but it won't kick in until I'm pretty sure 2023 season. Um, so you have to open up cap space, maybe get a DeRozan, maybe a Lowry. I don't know why Lowry would go to Dallas though. I heard Dallas is a really good city though. Um, and there's no like something with the
Taxes.
taxes. Yeah,
There's no taxes.
yeah. Maybe I can see DeRozan, but I think he wants to play in the East. There's a couple of good free agents. Rashawn Holmes is a good center that they can go for. But yeah, they'll have money. You have to move on from Kristaps. I think they should do a trade. I don't know who you can trade for. That's a center that they can trade for, specifically. But get like a package of a couple shooters. I don't know how much you can get for Kristaps. Maybe like a shooter and a wing that can create his own shot. Because they have Tim Hardaway who doesn't. He's not like he can create his own shot, but not consistently, and no one else can create their own shot. Um, I haven't really thought specifically about what kind of wing can create their own shot that you can actually get Kristaps, like you can trade Kristaps for. But yeah, they got to move on from Kristaps. He definitely doesn't fit before he becomes a free agent. I don't know when he's a free agent, but they got to move on from him.
Because I think Kristaps, if I'm not mistaken, is making a lot of money right now. I don't know what
Yeah,
his
28
exact.
million.
Yeah, 20 million. I don't know when it expires, but they got to move on from him. I think a sign and trade with Rashawn Holmes. I don't know if that will probably not be too bad. And if you can somehow get a Buddy Hield from the Kings, because
Yeah,
I think Tyrese is moving into that starting two guard position.
maybe
So
they'd have to throw in a pick, for that to get Buddy and Rashawn Holmes for Kristaps.
I mean, yeah, you threw in enough to get Kristaps anyway, so I wouldn't be mad if you threw a pick. If you threw a pick, I wouldn't be mad because Rashawn Holmes, I think, is a really good lob threat. He's very athletic, and then Buddy Hield's another shooter because they really missed out on Seth Curry this series. I think Luka needs shooters around him. That's why I don't. DeMar DeRozan is cool. I think he'd be a good player, but I don't think he fits next to Luka well. I think Rick Carlisle likes to have shooters around him, and I think Buddy Hield can somewhat create his own shot. If Tim Hardaway leaves, um, I think a cheaper version of Tim Hardaway, who kind of has the same play style. I think if you can get a Terrence Ross, who's also a free agent, to replace him, I think that would be a good addition. Or even like I don't know, Norman Powell might make a lot as well. But see, people like that. I think people like that for the Mavericks is
Norman
good.
Powell would be huge for them. He would be a good pickup, but I don't think he'll get more than Tim Hardaway though. Tim Hardaway's making 19 million. I can see them both being around 15 to 17 million. I think Norman Powell's better than Tim Hardaway though, because he can
I
defend
can
better.
Yeah, I think Tim Hardaway. I see Tim Hardaway making around 20 because they're talking about um Tim Hardaway is a really, really good shooter, and Joe Harris made 20. They say Duncan is gonna make about 20, and then you have Tim Hardaway. He's a really good shooter as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he made 20. Same with Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell is a really good scorer as well. But that's for the Mavericks. For the Clippers against the Jazz, um, I have Clippers in six. I have Clippers in six. I think they would be in trouble if this was the Suns, but I think if the Jazz, I think, are a good team. But I think the Clippers have really dominated them throughout the regular season. If I'm not, I think they have their number. Um, but actually, I don't know. I'm gonna have to push that to seven because I don't know. I don't know what's up with Ibaka. Um, I don't know what the status of his injury is
I think
because
he's out for the playoffs. I would assume because
if he's out for the if
he
he's
hasn't
out for
even
the
been
playoffs,
questionable for any game, and he's just like on the bench. It's like he already know he's like just along for the ride. The Jazz won 2 of the 3 games against the Clippers this season.
oh, did they? I must be thinking about the wrong team then. Okay, yeah. Um, Okay, I'm gonna take Clippers in seven then, because I didn't even know. I was probably talking about the wrong team, and I think if Ibaka's out for the playoffs, they're gonna need someone to match Gobert's intensity. If that's Zubac, I mean Gobert's not gonna shoot the ball or anything like that, but he's a very good defender.
Yeah.
I could see Gobert giving Paul George some troubles when he's driving. Kawhi's
Go,
gonna
but
be a
yeah,
really
if they play like zone, like how the Mavs played, but they're much better defensively, and they can actually protect the paint without having like three bigs in there. They just need Gobert, and they have better perimeter defenders than the Mavs do. They can run the same defensive set as the Mavericks, be better at it, and they can score offensively because they have great ball movement. That's why I think the Jazz are just like an upgraded level of the Mavs, but without that superstar.
yeah. They just don't have that guy. If they had that guy, like if they had that Luca, I'd probably pick them in the series. Their bench is better too than the Clippers bench. I thought Jordan Clarkson and um Derek Favors. I think that's a really strong bench. I forgot who else they have on the bench. They have George Niang and they have one more person. I forgot. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a great series. I mean, if Ibaka's not playing, and um, if Ibaka's not playing, give me the Clippers in seven. I think the Clippers will pull this out in 7 games. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jazz won this series because they're the number one seed for a reason.
I have the
And
Jazz in 6.
Jazz in six. Um, all right, next series we'll stick with the West. Phoenix Suns eliminated the Los Angeles Lakers. Very, very fun series to watch. Um, I was going for the Suns the whole time. I want Devin Booker to win a ring. The two teams I'm rooting for are the Suns and the Hawks to win their chip. Obviously, like the Nets, I want KD to win a ring, but I think I would love Devin Booker to win a ring. And I think the Hawks really remind me of the Miami team from last year. Um, I think that they're just playing up to their competition. So I'm rooting for the Hawks as well. So the Suns, they just had a lot of they just have a very very balanced team. I think Devin Booker is their go-to guy. They have their leader in Chris Paul, who's um his injury is probably questionable for that series. I don't know how healthy he is. Um, and then DeAndre Ayton has been playing really well in the playoffs. And then I love their wings. Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson are 3-and-D wings who can suffocate you defensively. Cam Payne is being amazing off the bench. It's just them against the Nuggets will be. It's gonna be a fun series to watch. The Nuggets are a very fun team. I love Michael Porter Jr. Jokic is gonna be a handful. I think the Suns are a lot better defensively than the Trailblazers, but um, I still think that Jokic, if Jokic gets DeAndre Ayton into foul trouble, they don't really have that backup center that can really hold his own. Like he's eating up Dario Saric and who's it, Frank Kaminsky. That's barbecue chicken. So um, I have the Suns in 6 against the Nuggets, but the Nuggets could win the shit if the Suns don't come with it, if DeAndre Ayton doesn't come with it. And as far as the Lakers are concerned, um, I mean they did have AD being injured. I don't think the Lakers need like another star. I think their team is. I just think they need upgraded versions of role players. I just think their role players are very inconsistent. Kyle Kuzma, I think has to be traded. I think the thing about LeBron teams, a lot of LeBron teams, because I've watched LeBron since he's later end of the Cavs and since he's been on the Heat. LeBron teams are very top heavy. So if you don't have those players showing up, then at the right times, then they could let you down. So they need upgraded versions in free agency. Like, I don't know what the Lakers cap situation is looking like, but I don't know if they're going to be able to trade for Dame because there's been a lot of Lakers fans wanting Dame. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if they can get CJ or someone like that, like a CJ, trade for a CJ or pick up a Norman Powell in free agency or a Terrence Ross or Tim Hardaway, just upgraded versions of role players who are more consistent. I think the Lakers usually sign like Marc Gasol is a good player, but Marc Gasol is way past it. And I think the same thing with a lot of these other guys. And Shooter, the Lakers saved themselves by Shooter declining that $84 million extension because he's not getting anywhere close to that free agency.
Uh, were you done or did you cut out?
No, no, I was done. Go ahead.
Okay. With the Lakers, I'm not like too upset they lost. Like surprisingly, what was it? Game 5 of the finals last year when the Lakers lost that being up 3-1. That hurt more than even losing this series. Because it is basically 2 seasons in one. So I'm usually used to waiting a year to see the playoffs again. It was just like 7 months. So we'll be back. It'll be a year from when the season starts again, from when they won the ring. So, I've seen enough LeBron for now. Um, the Lakers didn't disappoint me or the fans, but certain players did. We won the second half in the last two games, but we had a like horrible first halves. Like in game 5, we had a horrible second quarter, and in game 6, we had a horrible first quarter. So it's hard to win when you get outscored by like what was it, 22 points? You're down 22 after the first, and LeBron doesn't have enough in him at 36 to be able to like stay with the Suns at the beginning and the end. That's why they did better in the second half because LeBron conserves his energy. They come out of half, they have the energy. LeBron's playing 42 minutes in blowout games because they have nobody else to play. The cap is it's interesting because so this is what the Lakers can do. Um, so if we get rid of Kuzma, Kuzma's gonna make 13 million. His extension kicks in next year, so we move him. Maybe we can package him in a sign and trade with Dennis. I don't want to let Dennis walk. Um, if it's up to me, I don't know who we can get that's better than Dennis in free agency for the money that I think he's probably gonna be like 20 million. I'm probably less, but I wouldn't want to keep him. But I don't want to let him just go without getting anything. So a sign
You
and
get
trade
Kyle.
would be.
You get Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like sign and trading Dennis for Lowry, I think it would benefit both teams. Toronto gets a young guard, who is good in small markets. I don't think he's built for LA. Dennis Schroeder. Toronto's a relatively small market compared to LA. And then Lakers get the experience, the defense, the IQ, the leader, the secondary leader, I guess, and the guy who can create his own shot and create shots for everyone else, and he's consistent. And then we move Kuzma, get a few pieces out of him. He's young. I think on a bad team, like if you put him on like the Kings, he's like a 20-point per game scorer. Inefficiently, 40%, something like that. But like he doesn't fit the Lakers right now. Maybe like if he came along in like 5 years when LeBron's like far gone, maybe. I don't like Kuzma anymore. His IQ really hurts me. Um, Trez is gonna leave, and I think we should give Drummond that 9 million that we would give to Trez. I would like to keep Drummond. I don't think he makes us worse, and I think with more time playing alongside AD, he will get better, and we will get better. And resign Caruso, 4 million. Resign THT, give him that qualifying offer. I don't think he's gonna leave. I think he wants to win in LA, at least for now. I don't know what. No, I don't think any contender is gonna give him over 10 million. So I think he should take that 2.5 million from the Lakers and just stay for one more year. See how that goes. Markieff is. I mean, we can re-sign him. It's gonna be a minimum. I don't really care. We need a backup center for Andre Drummond because actually no, I think Marc Gasol's on another year, but he's old as shit. LeBron's gonna be back. AD's gonna be back. KCP. I think we should definitely keep KCP unless we're doing a big trade with a KCP and Kuzma. That makes up about 28 million. Or like 26, 27 million. We can add in like another guy. If we do like THT, KCP, and Kuzma, we can get ourselves like a pretty good player. Maybe CJ. I think that's a little bit too much for CJ at this point. Two young guys. I mean, they're kind of shit, but there'll be something one day. I wouldn't mind CJ. Imagine getting CJ and Lowry. Rob Pelinka has a lot of stuff to do. Jason Kidd, recruit Dame. I don't think we can get Dame. I don't think we have the pieces. If Dame requests a trade specifically to the Lakers, if he's like, I demand a trade to the Lakers, maybe. But otherwise, we don't have the package that other teams have. So disappointing ending. But I'm not like upset specifically. I'll be very upset if the Nets win the championship or if the Clippers win the championship. Otherwise, I don't care. It's like an off season. So yeah.
Montrez has a player option, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna leave. He doesn't. He doesn't. I don't think he likes the role he's getting in LA.
Okay, yeah,
May,
makes sense.
maybe we keep him, bring him off the bench, get rid of Marc Gasol, but he's gonna be making 9 million, and then we have to give Drummond money from somewhere, and he's gonna probably want.
I think Marc Gasol's on that team next year because I don't see anyone trading for Marc Gasol, and I think he's on the last year of his deal. I think the Lakers will keep him
Yeah, maybe
to
like a
I think
reserve
yeah, he's
experience.
probably gonna something like that. But yeah, apart from that, I can see a team throwing 5 to 6 million for Taylor Horton Tucker. I could see that because he's
Yeah,
like
but
1 million and he's
I
restricted. So
I don't think he's gonna for example, maybe he just wants to put pressure on LA, but I wouldn't give him. Okay, I would give him 6 million if I'm the Lakers. or 5 million. But let's say, for example, it's a bad team like Oklahoma. Or let's say,
Yeah, if
uh,
OKC gives him 6 million, like the Lakers will have to make a decision.
yeah, I don't know why he would accept that though, because he's a clutch client and he's letting Rich Paul handle his stuff. And Rich Paul is basically LeBron's bitch, so he does what LeBron wants, and he's gonna make 2.5 million next year if he takes the qualifying offer, which is like a lot. Um, and then in the next year I think he's unrestricted, so then he can do whatever he wants. I think he's gonna try to give it one more chance in LA, see how it goes, and then he can determine if he wants to leave. I wouldn't give him like a lot of money as if I'm the Lakers right now, but I wouldn't let him walk for 6 million. Like, you take the 6 million, we'll get 5 million next year from Luol Deng scamming us, and yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie. I think Kelly Olynyk on the Lakers would be a really. He's not gonna do the shit he's doing in Houston because he's not gonna get the shots. But he'd
how
fit
much
really good
money?
next.
How much money is he making?
Kelly Olynyk is a free agent for 13 mil. He's on 13 mil right now. So
Maybe.
I think I could see him getting 15, something like that. But yeah, about the Lakers, we talk a lot about the Lakers. I do not want to see DeRozan on the Lakers. I think if LeBron kicks out the ball from him, I'm leaving his ass open all day. Um, but other players like I would not mind like Evan Fournier on the Lakers wouldn't be bad, I guess. Um, the free agent market is pretty dry though, so I don't really know who else you could get. Like
We just
a
need like good, like consistent shooters. Like, we have shooters on our team. They're all streaky shooters. No one's like, other than KCP,
low
who is
key
pretty bad.
Tony Snell is a free agent and he's broke some record with shooting. I forgot what it was, but
He had 50, 50,
50, 50, and
100.
100. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that one. Bielitsa is a free agent on the Heat. We don't really play him, but he's a shooter. So yeah, there's people out there for the Lakers. There's people out there for the Lakers for sure. They just need to upgrade their role players. I don't think they need another. I think their stars are fine. And AD needs to stay healthy. That's the only thing. And for the Suns, what do you have Suns and Nuggets? Because we'll talk about the Nuggets series as
Oh
well.
yeah. Wait, quickly. Otto Porter is also a free agent. Tim Hardaway. Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. It is kind of dry. For the Suns Nuggets series, um, it depends. If the Suns like decide to like pop off again, I think they just had like extra motivation because they were playing the Lakers. But obviously, I don't think they're a team that's just gonna disappear now. But the Nuggets are playing well. I think the Nuggets would win the West. I said this in the chat. I think the Nuggets would win the West if Jamal Murray was healthy. They have a deep team. I don't know. I can see it going one of two ways. I can see it Nuggets in 7 or like Suns in 5. Like, either the Suns are way too good or it's a lot more evenly matched than I think. Because it's hard for me to see like a team that the Nuggets on paper they don't have a lot of depth, but their players are playing really well. Their role players are playing amazing. Um, so if Michael Porter Jr. This is what I have to see. So Jokic is doing better than Chris Paul and Devin Booker in my opinion. So let's say Jokic and Devin Booker, they cancel each other out, like in a sense. Michael Porter has to match Chris Paul, which is hard to do, but he has to do it. And then the role players need to outdo the role players on the Suns. And the Suns have like 18's not really a role player, but I'll count as a role player. They have him, Cameron Payne, Mikal Bridges, who was kind of bad against the Lakers, like he wasn't great. It's basically those three. The Nuggets have no one like outstanding. Like, they have Austin Rivers. I don't even know who starts for them. I haven't watched like a Nuggets game.
You forgot one guy on the Suns.
I
You
said
forgot
Cameron.
you forgot Jay
Oh,
Crowder.
Jay Crowder. Yeah, yeah, and Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder like was really bad in the first half of the series, and then he just all of a sudden decided to hit shots. Jay Crowder's annoying, man. I don't like Jay Crowder. Like, I would love for him to be on the Lakers, but I wouldn't love. I don't like to play him. Is he a free agent?
No, he's not. He just signed a contract this year.
Oh, that would be nice though if he was a free agent. So yeah, I would want the Nuggets to win. I like the Nuggets to win the ring. I would like if they won the ring. There's only two teams I would hate. I put like a ranking. I would hate if the Nets Clippers won. I wouldn't like if the Suns or Jazz won. Or Philly. But I would love if the Hawks won. If Nuggets won. Um, I'm probably and the Bucks. I'd love if the Bucks won. But yeah. I'm gonna go with Suns in 5 or 6. I'll say 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets won the series.
Yeah, I got Suns at 6 as well. I love MPJ, but I think Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker's motivated. I think um he's motivated. I think the Suns bench is really really nice. I'm a big fan of their bench actually. Like Cameron Payne has been going off. Um, they have Cam Johnson who's a shooter. Torrey Craig is a guy who's a defensive guy, but I think he's a 3 and D. Kaminsky, listen, like I said, if Jokic gets Aiton in foul trouble, the Nuggets could win this series pretty easily. Because the Suns don't have anyone to guard, to like not guard, but like to like put on Jokic, who's gonna like hold his own other than Aiton. I don't trust Dario Saric or Kaminsky to do anything with Jokic, but on the other hand, you have Devin Booker and Chris Paul is getting healthier by the day. So we'll have to see what happens with that. The game's actually today, so it's gonna be interesting. Um, next series though, in the West. Okay, let's talk about Nuggets Trailblazers because Trailblazers made some moves, man. We'll talk about the Nuggets first because we just talked about them. Great series by the Nuggets. I think whenever the Nuggets are playing, they're like never out of a game. They were down by like 20. They were down like a lot in some of these games when they came back. Same with the Trailblazers though. But I mean the Nuggets just have a lot of pieces, man. I think Jokic is a monster. Monte Morris is one of the best backup point guards in the NBA. Um, MPJ, like I said, I think this is the series that MPJ becomes an all star. Or this is the playoffs that he becomes an all star. Aaron Gordon, is cool. Austin Rivers is cool. But apart from that, they don't really have much. But it was just the main guys. Like Paul Millsap is a good player as well. JaVale is not even playing in the playoffs. Surprising. I don't. I think they're running Paul Millsap at backup five. Or, no, the JaMychal Green at backup five. Um, but yeah, the Nuggets handed single handed not single handedly, but with contributions from MPJ and Jokic, and Monte Morris picked off the Trailblazers, and I think that the Nuggets can make some noise if the um Nuggets or the Suns. If the Nuggets beat the Suns, I could see them beating the Clippers, man. I could really see them beating the Clippers because I have the Clippers beating the Jazz. And for the Trailblazers, well, we'll talk about the Trailblazers later. What do you have to say about the Nuggets?
So I already talked about the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are good. Um, I think they're gonna win a ring in the next 5 years. People are gonna start going to Denver, whether or not it's like a great city. I don't know how. I'm Canadian. I don't know how America, the states work in Colorado. I think Colorado is the state. The taxes, the city. I don't know. I've never been there. Planning to go there soon though. I just know for Portland, one of two things is gonna happen: either Dame and CJ are getting traded, or CJ's getting traded. Because there's no way they're running it back with these two guys at their top two. And I think I can see Nurkic also getting moved because unless he's a free agent, which I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he's a free agent. He is like really, really bad defensively, in my opinion. Like, Jokic was like fathering this guy. Like, if we look back a year, AD was torturing Jokic. He only averaged 22 in the series. He was basically all Jamal Murray. They need a defensive big. You need a defensive big to stop Jokic. The Suns don't have a defensive big. DeAndre Ayton, like he's not a liability, but he's not great. Nurkic is obviously worse, but like the Jazz, they have a good defensive center. He can't like extend. He can't guard Jokic on the perimeter, but in the paint, he can do a good job. The Clippers don't have that either. Um, so the Portland Trailblazers have a lot of work to do because they've always just been this team that gets first rounded. They made the conference finals one year. But I think you said I think
Let's
you're
talk.
talking
Let's
about
talk about. Let's talk about Portland though, because we covered the Nuggets. If that's all you have
yeah
to say about them.
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So the Blazers lost the series. They fired their coach. Well, mutually parted ways with their coach. Terry Stotts is gone after becoming the second winningest coach in Trailblazer history, but he was not that great of a coach. I was advocating for this man to be fired a long time ago. Um, and yeah, they have a lot of decisions to make. They said, or Dame said he wants Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd said he's not leaving. So that could probably upset Dame, and he might want to be traded now because he hasn't asked for a trade. There's just been rumors because the coach has been fired, but um, I think one of these two are gone. If I'm the GM of the Blazers, I'm trading both of them. I'm not keeping one on the roster because I think it's better to be bottoming out and rebuilding than trying to keep one of them on the roster and what competing for the 10 seed. Like that's not going to work out like that. So I think they got to trade both of them. Um, and trading Dame is going to be a lot harder because he's a really good player. Um, who's like you're gonna have to find a great offer. Norman Powell's probably gone unless he resigns because he wants a bigger role or something like that.
He won't.
Unless if
He
he
definitely won't
won't, right?
resign. He hates Portland. I can tell this guy doesn't want to play in Portland.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think he's gonna make a lot of money. Nurkic, he's probably getting traded. Ines Cantor, is a good backup center as far as offensive rebounding, but his defense I think is worse than Nurkic's. Covington was not. He didn't really pan out. They paid Derek Jones, but he's been just sitting on the bench. He hasn't been playing at all. Zach Collins, who was the seventh overall pick, has been injured his whole career. Same with Harry Giles, who's been injured. Nasir Little has not played at all. Their youth has not played, man. Their youth has not played, and I think their youth is gonna have to like. I would trade Damon CJ and let Anthony Simons just him, Zach Collins, Nasir Little, Harry Giles. That's basically their young core. TJ Leaf. They just have these guys run out there. Melo is probably gone. Forgot about him. So I think this is a team that has to completely blow it up, in my opinion.
Is Melo a free agent?
No, I don't think he's not a free agent.
Oh, I was
No,
gonna
I
say
can.
come to LA. That would have been nice. He should. He should.
No,
Oh no, he is a free agent.
no, he is a free. He's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free.
You had to scroll down a lot to find him. Yeah, he's on a
Yeah, I
minimum contract. You know, the Lakers can pick him up on a minimum deal. I wouldn't mind it. He can get a ring. Um, so I don't know. I don't have much more to say about Portland. I can see them trading CJ for someone better and keeping Dame. Like I wouldn't trade
who
CJ for young guys and then keep Dame. But like if you're gonna like improve, let's say Clippers get embarrassed by the Jazz and they want to move on from Paul George. I don't know why they would want CJ instead of Paul George, but like maybe I think Paul George and Damian Lillard, the two playoff chokers, would be like a great company. Well, I just called Dame a playoff choker. The previous a playoff choker in the past, and Paul George, who we all know I dislike. Maybe that could work out. I just wanted to say one thing when you brought up the Clippers. I think the Clippers are the worst team remaining in the West. I think any team that they'll play in the series they'll lose to. Just putting that out there. So yeah, for Portland, I think you're right. I think they should rebuild. I think Dame. I think Dame's been more loyal than Curry. People talk about the loyalty, how Curry's the most loyal. I don't think so, because Curry's always had a good team around him. They put KD, Clay, Draymond. Clay and Draymond are still there. Dame's never had anyone like good near his level. Curry's had someone possibly better than him. So Dame's been loyal. I think no one would be mad if he requested a trade out of Portland, unless he went to the Nets somehow, or he just went to like a really good team already. Unless it's the Lakers, I'd love if he went to the Lakers. But the Raptors with these young assets, if they want to win now, we're getting rid of Kyle Lowry's contract. We have that money. Maybe give up like a Chris Boucher.
But why would the Raptors want Dame? I mean, like obviously, like they would want Dame, but like if you're
Our
getting rid of
team's
Kyle
good.
Lowry and
If
but
you put
okay,
Dame on our team, we can win the East. If
I
we
thought the
always
Rap
have to do stuff. We have to do stuff in the off season, obviously. But like we
and
have a pretty deep team.
who are you gonna give up though? You gonna give up Pascal?
Oh hell no, not Pat. Ooh, no. I would give up.
Because I don't. I'm like they want like
Yeah, we
if
have
the
young
I
players.
I
I don't
could
know if we
see
do.
I could see Dame like Ben Simmons if he got traded I could see Dame being the guy. I think Dame for Ben Simmons. Well, not straight up, obviously. Like
Yeah,
Ben Simmons, I'm talking about like Ben Simmons, those types. Like even like if the Celtics wanted to trade Jalen Brown or something like that.
like
Um,
yeah. If I'm the Raptors, I don't want to give up everything for Dame. Like he's kind of old. We have a young team, but Pascal isn't young either. Let me see his age. Dame's
he's like
30. I think
26,
Pascal's
20,
27.
27. Yeah.
Wait, is Dame turning 31? He may be turning 31. I don't know, cause I'd trade. Yeah, he's turning 31. Yeah, he's kind of old.
And his value is like at an all-time high right now.
Ames? Well, if you request a trade, it won't be. If he like demands it, if he's like, I want to go somewhere, that's when the value
No,
goes
yeah,
down.
but like he hasn't done it yet. That's what.
Yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, no one thought Kawhi was Kawhi going to the Raptors like an actual rumor. I wasn't really into like off-season basketball when that happened. Um,
It No, it was, but like Kawhi also requested a trade, which is why like his value wasn't as high. Like Kawhi, like
yeah,
it was made clear that he wanted out of San Antonio.
that wasn't a
Um,
bad trade though. Like in some ways, the Spurs they got a young center out of it. Did they get a pick? I don't think they got a pick. That I think they did. Kawhi trade.
No, they got a pick. They got a pick.
Oh yeah, 2019
But
first round pick.
yeah, 20, and I think who did they draft? Bonnie Walker, which is
They
a
got
good pick.
Lonnie
No,
Walker
they
out of it.
drafted Keldon Johnson, which is a
Ooh,
good pick.
that is a good pick. So yeah, they had a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dame teams I could see trading for Dame. I think the Sixers, um, the Mavs maybe if they're getting away from Porzingis, but I don't know
But
how Luca and
the
Dame.
the thing is with Dame is that he's not just gonna request a trade and be like, I'll go anywhere. He's gonna demand to go to like he's gonna be like these three teams because he wants to
Yeah,
win. He's not gonna be like send me to the Knicks. Um, because like the Knicks won't win with him with just him unless he sign another superstar. So I can see Philly. That makes sense.
I can see Philly. I can see Milwaukee. Um,
Like who?
if
Drew
they lose,
Holiday?
if I think Chris Middleton. They just
Oh yeah,
signed
yeah,
Drew Holiday,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, Chris Middleton. People are talking about the Heat. I just don't think we have enough. Like we're not trading Bam.
You have enough. You just won't give it. Like okay, you re-sign Duncan. He's getting a lot of money though. You would have to give Hero Precious,
I
probably
do
one of
that.
Duncan and none,
No, I
and
do that. I
picks.
do that.
Three
But
first round picks in those guys.
yeah, I do that. Like if it was keep anywhere that we keep Jimmy and Bam, then I'd do any
No,
trade.
you would keep them. You just have to give it basically every young player. You'd keep one of none and Duncan if they both stay, but you'd have to
I
give
think I think I
Hero
think
and
Dun- I
Joshua.
think none is gone. I think none is gone. I think we're re-signing Duncan. The Duncan is gonna be a player that is on the Heat next year. I'm 100% sure, unless he's traded, which I don't think he will. Be unless it's for like Dame or something. Duncan will be on the Heat next year. I think none is the guy who's gonna be gone. Dragic, we could do some sign and trade shit where Dragic is gone because he's a restricted free agent. If we trade away like Precious, Hero, Dragic, um, three two picks because we don't have that many picks. We have two picks, and then trade away like um whoever else we have on our team. Like on because Precious is I don't see Precious as a center. I see him as a power forward because he's very undersized. So um, but the Heat want to play him as a center because they want it to be like a mini Bam, but he's not that. He's more of like a Montrezl Harrell type player. Um, so I mean we could do it. Like I think the Heat will trade for someone this season. I don't think Tyler Hero I don't think he was a situation last year. I think the Rockets wanted like five picks and like two swaps. We didn't have all that. Like our picks were gone. We traded away three for Dragic like 6 years ago, so we didn't have any picks to trade. Um, and the coach, who do you think the Blazers are gonna get as a coach?
Um, I can see Chauncey Billups, Sam Cassell, um, maybe is it Juwan Howard? He's the Michigan coach.
Yeah, he's a good
Uh,
coach.
yeah, there's a couple guys. So I'm like doing a trade thing here, for the Heat, and it's Goron Hero Precious, the 2024 and 2025 first round picks, and you would probably have to give a guy who's on you need to make up 7 million. So you'd have to resign a guy between 5 and 10 million to give him that trade. So would you do that for Dame?
Yeah, I do that. We
Yeah, I think
probably
they
have to
would
be
do it
like
too.
a Reza or something like that.
Yeah, Ariza's making a little bit too much. Oh, his contract's over, yeah, so he's gonna be getting less. So yeah, maybe Ariza, like a sign
Yeah,
and
either
trade.
him or like Bielitsa. One of
Yeah,
those two is probably gonna be. If we could do that, then I'd be happy because then you have Jimmy, Bam, and Dame,
and
which
you have
would keep
Victor Oladipo.
Duncan. Yeah, Oladipo. Pat Riley said that they're gonna try to work a deal out with them, so he's probably gonna be back. So you probably have a starting lineup of
Dame.
Dame, Oladipo, Jimmy, um, Bam, and then whoever the hell you sign. Like you
You
probably
put
put
Bam at power
Bam
forward.
at the four, or Bam at
Oh,
the
you
four.
don't have money though. Bam's about to
Or you
get
put
a. When does Bam's contract kick in? Oh, next year. Jesus.
next year. We have so yeah, we won't have the money to sign anyone. We probably would either put Bam at the four and just put or put Jimmy at the four and put Duncan at the three.
Yeah, then you'd literally have no bench.
Our
You
bench
just
would
had
be
a bunch of
like
shitty guys.
that
No, you'd
Casey
make the
and
finals. You'd win the East. You'd win the East, depending on how
I
the
mean
West looks.
yeah, I mean if you look at Brooklyn's bench there, that shit like that, I mean yeah, it's
No,
cool,
Brooklyn
but like they
sucks.
don't If you just have a big three, I think you'll be fine. I don't think you need like
You have a
that
big
many
four
like.
though. You'd have a big four.
Oh
Like
yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Duncan,
what would you?
Duncan like resembles Joe Harris. Dame and Kyrie. Dame's better. KD and Jimmy Butler.
KD.
Uh, yeah, and then Harden and Vic. But then you have Bam. So it
Yeah,
makes up. You
Bam.
have a
Yeah.
competent big.
Okay. All right. Next. Okay, we got to talk about the Celtics because the Celtics just re-signed or not re-signed. They fired. Danny Ainge retired. Brad Stevens became the GM, and now they're looking for a coach. Now, I don't see. I think Sam Cassell would be a great fit. I think the Celtics need a guy with like pedigree. Um I do not want to see Terry Stotts on the Celtics because I don't. I think Terry Stotts, Steve Clifford, and Terry Stotts are the two guys that are good enough to take a team to the playoffs, but not good enough to win a championship. I think Sam Cassell, I think is a guy that they can try out. I like Sam Cassell. Chauncey Billups is very inexperienced. This is like first year as like an assistant, so I would not like to see. I think Chauncey Billups is more suited for a young team. Apart from that, I don't really know anyone else who's like really rumored for the Celtics position. Jason Kidd's already said he's not leaving, so it's really between Sam Cassell and like a lot of like unproven coaches and Terry Stotts and Scott Skiles. Um, yeah, no, not Scott Skiles, Steve Clifford. Scott Skiles was already fired. Yeah, Steve Clifford. So yeah, the Celtics, I think they're a very confusing team because I think they have a ceiling. I don't think they're contenders. Like every year, like people say they're contenders. I don't think they're contenders. I just think they're like they have two talented players and then like a very poorly constructed roster after that. They're free agents. I mean, I don't. Is Kemba a free agent?
No, he is not a free agent.
Yeah, Kemba's not a
Otherwise,
free agent. Yeah, Kemba's not a
yeah,
free agent. They're free agents. They don't have that many. It's Evan Fournier and a bunch of G League players. That's what their free agency is.
that's their team
Um,
though. That's like their
basically,
entire
yeah.
team. Yeah.
So I mean, apart from Tatum and Brown, they don't really have shit. Like the Celtics need to get like a really good center. Like especially if they keep running into these teams that are going to dominate them. Like they made I mean they have Robert Williams, but I don't think Robert Williams is a center. I think he's a power forward as well. I just think the Celtics need another guy. I think they could be a Dame. They could try to trade for Dame, but they would have to give up Jalen Brown, and I don't know if they'd be willing to do that.
Well, the Celtics are trash. They're a poverty franchise. They haven't had success in the last like 70 years. They were basic. Their peak was when there was seven other teams in the NBA, and they had the best players in the world on their team. So they're pretty trash. I would say San Antonio is a more accomplished franchise, to be honest. Um, Jason Tatum. Okay, this is where I'm at. You can win a ring with Tatum being your best player. You cannot win a ring with Jalen Brown being your second best player. I don't care how deep you are. You can't win a ring with Jalen Brown being your second best player. He would have to be the third best player. You need that third guy. You need a facilitator. You can't have two wings that neither of them can pass. The Celtics have a horrible offensive strategy. They just go ISO. And when you only have one guy that can go ISO, because Kemba Walker is made of paper, so he just misses every game. Jalen Brown was injured. You have one guy. That's how Tatum drops 50. He's the only one taking shots. He takes like he won't win games like that. That's what James Harden did. James Harden's better than Tatum, and he had shooters around him, and he couldn't even have success. Now, how is Tatum, who's worse than Harden when he was in Houston, with no shooters around him, how is he gonna have success? I
I would love Monster
don't. The
on the
big
Heat. I
mistake.
would not love Dennis Schroeder on the Heat. I don't know why we were linked to him. I mean he's a good player, but like he
I mean,
just
if we
wants
can do a
way too
sign
much.
and trade, give me like none. Um,
He
give
just
me
wants way
some.
too much money, bro.
He,
I would much
this is,
rather have.
that's why he played bad in the playoffs because he was trying to be the guy. Like he's trying to be that guy. So he just went ISO and tried to score way too many times. This is the issue. I heard this somewhere. I won't talk for too long. But Dennis Schroeder. If you want to play with LeBron, if you want to have success with LeBron, you have to come to the realization and the admission, if that's a word. You have to like admit to yourself or to the world that you are under LeBron's wing. Like you are looking up to LeBron in a way. Like
No,
LeBron
that's
is
why
the
it's no coincidence that when people leave LeBron, they play like really well. But I'm not saying like
exactly.
LeBron's bad, but like
You have to be a certain type of player to be able to have success with LeBron. And Dennis Schroeder isn't that player. AD is that player. KCP is that player. The players that can play under LeBron and they realize that he's the guy on their team. And you have to look up to him. You have to listen to him. He's the guy. Dennis Schroeder doesn't want to. Dennis Schroeder wants to be the top dog, and he overvalues himself, which isn't. People like to overvalue themselves a lot, but like it gets to a point like it's like kind of arrogant when you aren't that great of a player. He's a small market guy. He wants to be the main point guard. He wanted to start so he can get a contract. That's the issue. On OKC, he was off the bench, because he wasn't fighting for a contract. On the
That's
Lakers, he's
why I
like,
think
I'm
off
gonna
the
start.
bench he's better. That's why
Yeah,
we said
exactly.
at the
He
beginning of
wanted
the
a contract.
season, I think he was my sixth man of the year pick because I thought he was coming off the bench before they even like lineups were even announced.
We would have been better with him
Um,
off the bench. He has to be a different type of player if he wants to stay in LA and be.
and I don't want any
Listen.
player on my team who's going to take the team off his bio before an elimination game.
And
I'm
then he
good
puts
on
it back, and then he takes it off again. Like he took it off before the game. He put it on before the game. Then after the game, he took it off again.
I just found an article saying every team's biggest offseason trade chip. You know what the Lakers one is?
What does trade ship mean? Like peace?
Like trade piece, yeah.
Kuzma.
Yeah, it is Kuzma. These are
Yeah.
interesting. It says Kuzma for the Lakers. Here, the Miles Turner for the Pacers. For some reason, it's saying Christian Wood for the Rockets.
Ooh, I would love if Christian would have got traded to the Lakers. Don't know how in the world we would get him. I don't think he's making a lot of money either. Kuzma for
He's
Christian Wood.
2 years and
Come,
28. 2 year and
come
28
on.
million.
Money's exact, basically. Kuzma for Christian Wood. Get rid of
No,
Trez.
I don't think the money matches.
Kuzma's making 13 million next year.
Christian Wood is making more than 13 million though.
He's making 14 million, I think.
Cause Christian Wood, I remember declined his contract to get a bigger one.
No.
When he signed in free agency.
No. He didn't get a bigger one. He got the same amount, I think. It was.
Yeah, it is 14. It is 14 million. 14
Who gave him a contract and he chose the Rockets? Was it for the Pistons?
the Rockets gave him the contract and then he accepted it and then he like said it was like not finalized because he was looking for a bigger one. It was 3 years, 41 million.
Yeah,
that's the contract he's on. So it's basically
yeah.
The Hawks is Okongwu. The Celtics is Marcus Smart.
But Marcus Smart is really overvalued. I don't think any team's gonna give a lot for him because I kind of wrote an article on this in my spare time. I said Marcus Smart is a bench player on any other team, any other contender, because he's a great defender. He's a liability scoring wise. I corrected myself from the last time I said he was a liability offensively. Like he could play make. He's an exceptional at it. So I wouldn't want Marcus Smart on my team. Like for free, sure, but like.
Do you think Marcus Smart would start over KCP or not?
No, hell no, he wouldn't start over KCP. No way. KCP, okay, the defense
is a better shooter, yeah, I guess.
He's a better shooter, and the defense is like obviously Marcus Smart is better, but KCP is not a bad defender. He's a great defender.
I can see Marcus Smart starting over Reggie Jackson.
On the Clippers need that shooting though. They don't need that defense. I mean, it depends on the series. I can see.
Guess. I mean, but Reggie Jackson's not like this great shooter either, though. I mean,
he's playing like a great shooter.
Recently,
he hits like these massive shots against like that.
But they were starting Patrick Beverley in the regular season, so
Patrick Beverley's trash, man. He shouldn't even be in the league. He's like a liability in offense. He's an overrated defender. Can't believe people thought Patrick Beverley was a good defender.
Miles Bridges for Charlotte. Kobe White for Chicago.
Kobe White.
I just saw something saying that Colin Sexton is likely to be traded this season.
Yeah, he will. I saw that. But he's making a lot, I think. So who's gonna give him that money?
Or is he on his rookie contract?
Oh, if he's on his rookie contract, then Lakers come on snatch. He's kind of ball dominant.
No, he is. He's a 4-year, 20 million. So he's making 5. Yeah, it's his rookie contract.
He signed an extension though, I think. I'm pretty sure.
He didn't sign it. He can sign an extension next year because that's when he's a free agent.
2020 restricted.
Yeah, because he got drafted the same year as Luca, bro. And Luca hasn't signed his extension yet. So
He's gonna sign it this offseason.
who, Luca?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can see Colin Sexton and Darius Garland have to be on different teams. I mean, I love both of them coming out of college, Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, but like they're very ball dominant players.
Why are
I
they
think
trading
Darius
Sexton instead of Garland though?
because I think well, Garland is younger, number one. I think Garland is a better playmaker. I think Sexton is not a point guard. And I think Garland actually is like he was really good this year. I think what was he say?
He was
Say he was
17. I think he had 17.
17, right? So Colin Sexton at 24, but still like as a point guard, Darius Garland was a better. Colin Sexton is like a scorer. That's why. Um, so I think he's gone. And then apparently Porzingis is frustrated with his role too. So
Yeah, Porzingis is kind of a bitch though, so I don't like
where
Porzingis.
would you take Porzingis on the Lakers?
Like it depends on what we're giving. He's always injured though. Like I can't rely on him. Like he'll be healthy all season, and then he just wakes up and his knees. He just tore an
All right,
ACL. Like
sign and trade Montrez and Kuzma.
for KP.
Because the money would then match up. If it was Montrez, say Montrez takes like 15 and then Kuzma's on 13, that's 28. That would match his contract.
When is KP a free agent? I'd do it because Trez is gonna be gone anyways, and Trez would want to be in Dallas. I think Dallas would want Trez. I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's why I
And
said
Kuzma,
Montrez
maybe
because you said that he'd be good on.
I would feel bad for Dallas for getting Kuzma. He's so ass. Okay, yeah, I would do it. I'll just make sure he's healthy. Put less of a load on him. But no, this is the issue. He's like the complete opposite of Drummond. Drummond just sits in the paint and he can't do anything outside. KP is a tall guy that is scared of the paint. Like it would help Anthony Davis spacing
It would
wise,
help AD. It would help AD. That's why I'd do it too.
and he's a shooter. But if he's gonna cry about his role, like you're not getting a big role in the Lakers, you'll have like 15 points a game,
Bro, that's true.
like 6 shots a game. So that's the role that you're gonna get on the Lakers.
I mean, if he wants a bigger role, he just has to go to like a bad team, and I don't know like what team is gonna be willing to give up anything. Like, I mean, I'm looking at teams right now. There's not much out there. I wouldn't mind him on the Hornets. I would not mind him on the Hornets. But the Hornets are not like a bad team, and I don't know if he's gonna have that role on the Hornets. Lamelo is gonna have that ball,
Yeah.
and then maybe like the Rockets if they do some shit where they sign and trade Olynyk and someone else like a John Wall and Olynyk or just John Wall
You could have that
or
role on
some
the Raptors. Raptors don't have a ball dominant guard. I mean, Fred VanVleet's ball dominant in some ways, but I wouldn't want him on the Raptors because he's injury prone. But he's fairly young. I think he can have like a decent role in the Raptors. Let me check his age.
the Spurs wouldn't be bad either. I would not if DeRozan's
Oh, he's
gone.
25. He's 25. He's young.
Who Porzingis? Yeah, Porzingis is
Yeah.
young. Porzingis has a lot. I just think that Porzingis was not in a good situation, but um I think he's out. I think he's out this year. And then I think the other team that fired their coach was the Magic. Steve Clifford is gone, and I don't know who's gonna replace
Who wants to
Steve
coach for
Clifford.
Orlando?
Um, probably like I would say like a young like
Like an up and coming
Chauncey
coach.
Billups. Yeah, like a Chauncey Billups or a Sam Cassell. I mean, Orlando's gonna be ass regardless. Steve Clifford was like firing Steve Clifford was good though, because Steve Clifford's like a win now coach. Steve Clifford wouldn't be bad. On like the
Boston.
like a team that wants to come. No, not Boston. Nah, Boston's already a playoff team though. I don't know if Steve Clifford's a guy that can like
Like
win a championship.
Pelicans.
Yeah, yeah, Pelicans would be some shit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Steve Clifford or Terry Stotts on the Pelicans. I don't want to see because they're saying Terry Stotts might replace Steve Clifford on the Magic. I don't want to.
Let's just quickly, because it's been like, let's just finish the first round playoffs. Let's just do it all at once. So Heat, Bucks. You're a Heat fan. Quickly, your thoughts on that series? I think I'm not sure if we talked about it, but what do you think about that series?
I mean, it was disappointing. I mean, I think the Bucks really made adjustment. I think Drew Holiday was big, but I also think the Bucks team was a lot deeper than it was last year. Like last year, I was not scared of anyone on the Bucks bench. I'm not gonna lie. Like George Hill was their sixth man. And I think, yeah, it was just George Hill was their sixth man this year. Well, obviously DiVincenzo got injured, but like Bryn Forbes played really well. Bobby Portis was amazing. I always knew Bobby Portis was gonna be good because I think he was second in the league in 3-point percentage this year. Um, and then the PJ Tucker was a big addition. I just like their team a lot better this year. Um,
Yeah, they're good.
I just think I just think that when I just think that the Bucks kind of did what we did last year to Giannis. They just kind of built a wall around Jimmy because he's not a shooter. So, and they just ran off all the shooters on the 3-point line. The bench didn't really step up. I don't think like until games 3 and 4, Tyler wasn't getting minutes. Um, Bam, Bam and Jimmy, like Bam in particular, like I don't really care if he like missed shots. We're just running him as a guy who just does dribble handoffs all the time. Like he's not taking shots at all. And Pat Riley was like, I think Spo needs to like change that, so he'll be back next year. I think Jimmy will be fine next year. I just think we need another guy who's a 3-level scorer. Need to fix the power forward position and either move Bam to 4, which is I think his best position, or get in a power forward for the like who's can play for with Bam for the next 3 years. Like it's cool getting Ariza and Jay Crowder, but these are all like temporary solutions. You need to get a guy who's gonna be with the team. Who's gonna because it's hard for a guy to play alongside someone as your front court partner for half a season and like leave because since Bam has been the starter on this team, he's played alongside 5 people, um, 5 different people at the power forward like Myers Leonard, Jay Crowder, Mo Harkless, Kelly Olynyk, and then now Trevor Ariza. They're all probably gone now, so he needs a guy he can consistently play with. Um, but I think we'll be fine. I think we're just a lot fatigued. Um, but I think we'll be back next year. The Bucks though, all credit to the Bucks. They might win against the Nets now that James Harden is out for Game 2. But it'll still be tough. I still have the Nets winning that series in 7. If without James Harden, I have them winning in 7. With James Harden, I had him winning it in 5 or 6.
Um, I think without James Harden, it's gonna be a quick series. Because Kevin Durant and Kyrie have this season not played well together. Like I don't mean like they don't play well. Like they aren't playing well. I mean like they don't win a lot. Just them two. I know they won last game, but I think Harden's out for the series. Because they announced him being out so early. Like the day before the game morning, they announced that he's going to be out. And it's like usually they don't do that unless it's a serious injury. Like with Anthony Davis, his injury was serious, and it was a game time decision both times. I know those were elimination games in game 5 in a sense, but still, James Harden, if he was able to play slightly, he would play. And I don't think the Nets are underestimating the Bucks. So we're not going to talk about the Jazz Memphis series. That's useless, and Philly Wizards. But what do you think about the Philly Hawks series?
I think Hawks are a very underrated team. That's what I think. I think
Yeah, me
Hawks
too.
I think Philly for for a guy who's been like labeled as a defensive player of the year. It's so strange how they don't have him guarding Trey Young.
I
Like I don't
know
know.
it's very bad, and when they put him on him, he didn't do a great job either.
It's probably because I think Doc Rivers is like we don't want him in foul trouble, but you still have to stop Trey Young. And putting Danny Green on Trey Young is not going to.
I think he played like
Um,
hot trash too.
but Embiid looked healthy. I think Embiid looked healthy,
There's
which is good for.
there's an issue with the Sixers down the stretch.
That's
Bro,
what I said before, bro. Who are you giving the ball to?
exactly. There's no playmaker except for Ben Simmons. You give him the ball, he's getting fouled, and he's gonna miss the free throws. Like it's not like LeBron. Okay, LeBron's 70%. He'll make 70%. Ben Simmons is like down the stretch is like 20%. Like I'm expecting him to miss. I don't expect anyone else in the league to miss. Like I would trust Rudy Gobert at the free throw line more than Ben Simmons. I would literally trust Prime Shaq, not even Prime Shaq, Wash Shaq, Heat Shaq, Cavs Shaq. I would trust that Shaq at the free throw line over Ben Simmons. That's how bad he is from the free throw line, and they foul him because he has the ball. and that's an issue. The Hawks need to work on their inbounds. I don't know. They just get pressured and they get scared from a little bit of full court press. Come on, like it's an inbound play. It's not that hard. Um, but down the stretch, Philly's gonna have issues. And I like the Hawks a lot. I think they play. They're like a. They don't have the pressure on them because no one's expecting them to do good. No one picked them in the first round. No one picked them in the second round. No one's gonna pick them, so they don't have that pressure on them. It's like the Heat. The Heat were sleepers, and no one was expecting them to do good, so they did good. Um, and they never had pressure on them. But then when pressure gets to teams, then it gets hard. That's what happened to the Bucks last year. So yeah.
Quickly before we move on, the apparently the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash is hopeful to see him because it's there's no strain on the hamstring, it's only tightness. And Joe Harris said that he looked good, um, and that he's not worried about the and it looks like it's a quicker rehab than it was before. So
Well,
they're saying
before it
that
was like 5 weeks. So this is the thing: if the Bucks steal home court tonight, they would have home court advantage. They win tonight. If James Harden isn't back for Game 3, then they have an issue. Because if the Bucks take a 2-1 series lead, then James Harden comes back for Game 4. I expect the Bucks to win that game at home. And then you're down 3-1 going in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's gonna win that game, and then Bucks win at home. I don't think James Harden's gonna play Game 3 though. If he's gonna come back, I would say it's like you don't want to rush him either, because this isn't like a championship or bust. As much as I would like to think so. So, I don't want to rush him if I'm the Nets. Don't do what they did with AD. I mean, AD kind of rushed himself, but I don't know. The Brooklyn Nets have an issue here because they won a game by 8, and the Bucks played horribly. And it wasn't even the Nets defense. The Bucks were just missing wide open threes. Like wide, they're not going to do that again. And they can't guard Giannis. Like Giannis had 34 points in his sleep. Like that was an easy 34. He didn't like sweat for it. Chris Middleton played like heart trash. Drew Holiday can play better. The role players played bad. Bryn Forbes wasn't scoring. PJ Tucker was pretty bad offensively, which is not unexpected. And no one else did anything. Bobby Portis was pretty trash too. And they only lost by 8 in Brooklyn. I have the Bucks winning in 7 with James Harden. Without him, it's a 6-game series. Kevin Durant and Kyrie aren't enough.
okay.
What about the next series? What's the next series? We talked about the West.
The one we didn't talk about was Knicks Hawks. That was it.
Oh yeah, Knicks Hawks was expected. Everyone expected to be the best series. I didn't think it was the best series. I picked the Knicks. I don't know why. After the first game, I kind of knew.
I had the Hawks winning this pretty easy from the start. I thought I had Portland Denver as being the best series, but it turned out to be Clippers.
Oh yeah, it was Clippers Mavs for sure.
But the Knicks, I mean, Julius Randle just turned into what Giannis was last year.
Turned to fucking Pascal Siakam. That's literally what he was.
I mean, he definitely didn't step up. I mean, I just think that the pressure got to him. The Knicks are a very, inexperienced team. You see the experienced players really played well, like Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson played well. Barrett was pretty ass. I mean,
the Knicks talked too much shit. The Knicks talked way too much shit.
The Knicks fans talked way too much shit. I don't know who on the Knicks talked.
Reggie Barrett. Bullock. Oh, Reggie Bullock a lot, and RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett just frustrates me because he just has too many possessions where he just has the ball for 15 seconds without doing anything.
Like Andre Drummond,
give the ball up and you have like 10 seconds left in the clock.
Yeah.
But I think the Knicks are gonna have to make a decision. I think the Knicks need a point guard. They apparently they like Kendrick Nunn. I wouldn't mind to see Kendrick Nunn on the Knicks as a 6-man. D Rose is starting. And the center position, like Nerlens Noel, I don't know if they're moving forward with him or Mitchell Robinson, who was injured the whole series. They have some questions that need to be answered. I just think they need, like, Dame on the Knicks wouldn't be bad. I don't think Dame on the Knicks would be bad, but I don't really see what Dame on the Knicks does to the team. Like,
I don't know why the hell they would want to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a big market, I guess.
Yeah, but like he won't have more success than he does in Portland. Than like he has in Portland.
I mean, it's the East. He might make it out of the first round.
Yeah, out of the first round maybe, but he wants to. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants a ring. That's the only thing he's missing now. He has all these accomplishments. He doesn't have a ring.
I don't know, but even if they don't trade for a Dame, like a person we're not talking about in trade rumors is Bradley Beal because I think he might get traded.
Oh, I think DeRozan could end up in Washington with Russ and Beal. I think DeRozan would be. I said he wants to stay in the East. I don't think Washington is a bad uh bad
I
option.
don't. They don't have the money though.
Who, Washington? I think they do. Let me check.
Do they? Because Russ is on a super max. Beal is making a lot of money. They're free agents right now.
Yeah, I can figure it
Um,
out.
Robin Lopez, Ish Smith, and Raul Neto, and Alex Len. That's their. Those are their free.
Russ is getting a lot. Okay, so Davis Bertans is gone.
Yeah,
Uh,
Davis.
that's 15 million. How much are they under?
No,
Let me
he's
check.
still on the roster, bro. Oh, you think he's getting traded?
Isn't he a free agent?
No, he just signed a contract last year.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. He's a
The
free
only
agent.
free agents on the team were Robin Lopez, Ish Smith, Raul Neto, and Alex Len.
Okay, yeah, you trade him. You get rid of his contract. How much cap space do they have? They have a minus Washington. They're minus 20. Okay, let me see how I can do this. Okay,
So if we
so
trade him, they're at zero because he's making 20.
basically, okay, so he's there. Thomas Bryant, he'll be back next year. So he's only making 8 million. Robin Lopez, he's gone. Ish Smith is gone. That's 13 million. Hachimura's still on his rookie deal. Denny Avdia is on his rookie deal. They'll have money. I think they'll have money. They'll be like 10 million over. Then you'll go 10 million to the. You go 10 million over. Sign DeRozan to 20 million. 10 million minus 10 mil cap
You
space.
think he's you think he's taking 20? I think DeRozan wants 25, 30.
From who's gonna give him that though? Like he wants to win. Like Toronto can give him that because we have a lot
Does
of
he
cap.
want to win?
Actually,
I don't know
I don't know if he would
because
win in
DeRozan
Washington.
wasn't like requesting any like the Spurs are not some winning team and he had no problem playing with the Spurs. I think DeRozan wants his money,
I
but
don't think
at
he's
the
gonna
same time
go
he
to like
might.
a bad team to get money. Like I don't. I think. Well, okay, he can get money in Toronto. I think that's the best team he can go to. That's money.
I really like DeRozan in Atlanta.
Atlanta doesn't have the money. They like, especially now.
Are you
Trae Young's
sure?
about to get. Trae Young's about to get into his extension. They have no money.
If they the John Collins is a free agent though. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and they want to keep him. I would keep him over DeRozan.
Nah, he's gone, bro. They were in the middle of the season. They were talking about him wanting a max. They're not paying him that shit.
Why didn't
There's
they
no way.
trade him then?
I don't know. Yeah, they should have traded him because I don't. John Collins is not going to be back next year. I don't think.
Where's he gonna
Um,
go? Better not make a
to a
mistake and
team.
go to like a really
I
bad
would love
team.
John Collins on the Heat, but I don't think. I don't think. I don't think. I don't want to give John Collins a max. I mean, we might have to, but I think
Give
him
them
on the
money
Heat
for
would
that.
be nice.
Him on
Yeah,
the Raptors.
we have money for one more max deal if we only re-sign Duncan and get rid of everyone else, like
John
all the
Collins
other
better
like
come to the Raptors though. You can come to the Raptors. He's
and do
welcome.
what?
And make the second round.
Like Atlanta right now, because I was talking about DeRozan on the Hawks last year. Tony Snell is gone. Lou Williams is gone. Chris Dunn has a $5 million player option. Their only major free agent is Tony Snell, Lou Williams, and John Collins. Capella is locked up. Gallinari is locked up. Bogdanovich is locked up. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're only saying this for the Wizards in the case that they trade Bertans because he's making a lot of damn money.
They're gonna get a better coach, better GM, better everything, better city. Washington sucks.
I mean, yeah, DeRozan.
Go to
I don't
Seattle.
know. I don't know the teams for DeRozan, man. I mean, if
If
the
okay, if Lowry stays, we give him like a 15 million. That's a fair deal. Um, and we
who
get
DeRozan
DeRozan. Yeah, we got both, and then we run it back
15. You said 15 million.
for Lowry, and then we'll have money for DeRozan. We were supposed to sign Jonas to a supermax, so
They just said that Lowry want during the trade deadline they said that Lowry wanted
I
25 to
think
30.
I think he'll take a pay cut to stay and get DeRozan.
I mean, yeah, with Toronto maybe with Toronto.
And then we have like a
Um,
sick team. We have Fred, Lowry, Gary Trent, DeRozan, OG, Chris Boucher. I'm forgetting some guys.
Pascal.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. Well, our best player. Our
Okay, the
You know,
teams that have the most cap space are the Knicks, the Thunder, the Hornets, the Magic, the Pistons, the
Raptors are
Hawks.
13th here, but that's
The Hawks, the Hawks are sixth.
but no, that's because Trey Young the extension hasn't kicked in yet. It's kicking in next year,
Oh,
I
they gave
think.
him an extension.
Yeah, they did. Let me check. The the Hawks. Let me check. I'm pretty sure he's already got an extension. Or he's
No,
gonna
it's just
sign
it's
an
just
extension.
it's just his rookie deal, bro.
Where the hell's Trey Young? Oh, really? Let me see.
Yeah, he's making 6 million a year
He has
for the
a cap hit. Oh yeah, you're right. 2022 restricted free agent. He's gonna
because
sign it this
because
year, but he won't. Yeah, it
their
won't
whole
kick in.
class hasn't signed any extensions yet because Luca's about to sign his right now, so
Yeah,
he'll
yeah, you're
probably
right.
sign his. Other teams like Mavericks won't have the money. They're saying the Suns might have the money, but the Suns actually gonna have to make some moves because they're saying Chris Paul is gonna
No, Chris
decline
Paul's
his
gonna take
player
a
option.
no. Chris Paul wants to get less money. He's gonna go from 40 million to 3 years, 30 million each year. Like he has 2 years, 40 million now. He's gonna do
But do
three
you want
years, 30
do you
million.
want to do you want to pay him that much?
I don't know, but who are they gonna get? Because you want to keep Aiden. They'll have. He's taking a pay cut so they can keep Aiden. So you
Yeah,
know
but
the
Aiden
Raptors
wants
have
a max.
money.
Mikal Bridges apparently wants a max.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges isn't getting shit from the Suns. He's gonna leave. He's probably gonna go.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's restricted. I
I
think.
don't think any team's throwing him. I think I see 20 million. Um,
Okay, wait.
yeah,
For
he's
I think the Raptors have the most cap space in the league, other than the Knicks. Because okay, Lowry without Lowry.
Thunder.
Oh yeah, the Thunder. Because the Raptors have no one over 20 million except for Pascal and Fred. The next highest guy is Rodney Hood. He's a free agent. He's gone. He's 10 million. Aaron Baines is gone. He's 7 million. It's Chris
It's
Boucher, OG. Those are 6 mil and 3 mil. Gary Trent's gonna get more money, probably like I'd say like 14 mil
but
maybe.
don't the Raptors want to rebuild?
Well, this is the rebuild. All of our players are young, except for Lowry. Everyone is under Lowry, Aaron Baines, Rodney Hood. They're gone, and everyone else is under
I,
27.
I, I think Fred is a lot older than
Fred's
isn't Fred
26.
like he's 27.
Pierce is 26. See,
I just googled it
he's 27. February 20. Okay, so this isn't updated apparently. Pascal's 27.
because
Our
Pascal
oldest
and
player is
Fred are about
27.
20.
Because if we don't keep Lowry, like okay, we have a team that can win now and also the future. We have, I wouldn't mind trading Pascal. I'd want to keep Fred. Pascal's kind of like a really
Because it
selfish
depends on
player.
what you guys do with your pick.
Oh no, I think we could trade it. It can have value. I hope we jump in the draft. That would be good. We
If you
get top
trade
three
it,
pick.
if you trade it for like Dame or something, like trade that and like something else, or like
Yeah.
trade it for something like, because I think you guys can draft a player. I think this draft is really deep. Like I've been keeping up with college ball. This is a very deep NBA draft.
Do you
So
think like the 20th pick will be a good player?
yeah, I think so. Cause like
Lakers
if
have
I'm
the
looking at
21st.
um here, I'll tell you who they have. Like if I'm looking at the big board right now at 20, shit, scroll down.
Go to 21 because Lakers have the 21st pick. Like they can get a solid young player.
20 Jaden Springer out of Tennessee, which is a really good. They're comparing him to Malcolm Brogdon. So,
Oh, that would be sick.
and then you have James Bouknight out of UConn, who's a really good player as well. Cam Thomas, who I like, is at 18. Jared Butler, who won the championship with Baylor. Ayo Dusamu from Illinois. There's a deep draft, man. I think the whole first round is very good. They're very nice. So whoever's at 20, I mean, whoever's in the first round will get it. Someone will get. Everyone will get a good player out of this.
I hope the Raptors. I don't like drafting bigs because you don't know with injuries and stuff. I hope the Raptors can get Cade. I really like Cade. Uh,
Yeah, there's no. He's going number one.
yeah, let's drop. Didn't Nolan went from 7 to 1. We can go from 7 to 1.
But y'all, I think y'all are at 9. I don't think you guys are
No,
at
no, we're
7.
7. We're 7. Here, NBA
Really?
stat. Yeah. What's the
Because
furthest down 7 can drop? Okay, so Pistons, Magic, Cavs. We have 27 wins, and Timberwolves, Thunder, Rockets. Yeah, we're 7th. We did bad this
oh
year.
yeah,
We
yeah, you're
did worse than
7th.
the
You're 7th.
Bulls.
You're 7th. I thought no. I thought the I thought the Kings were worse than you. So yeah, you guys are 7. I mean at 7 you'll still get a really good. Like the top 5 is set. The top 5 is set,
Who is it? Like
and then at
Suggs, Cade, Mobley.
Suggs, uh, Cade, Mobley, Green, Suggs, and Kuminga. I think that's the
Oh,
top 5.
Is it Jalen Green?
Yeah, Jalen Green.
Yeah, he was in the G League, right?
Him and Kuminga are both in the G League, and then you have, if you want a guard, Keon Johnson is a shooting guard who's a 3 and D player. He
No,
can't
Raptors
really
don't want a
shoot though.
guard. Raptors don't need a guard. They would want a forward
So
or big.
so skip out Keon Johnson, skip out Davion Mitchell. Franz Wagner is a 3, or 4, 3-4 hybrid. He's a guy. I compare him. He's one of my favorite players. I think I compare him to like a. He's like a Gordon Hayward, Tobias Harris, Lamar Odom. He's like a point forward type player.
Besides the
Um,
genius, okay, he'll figure something out. He'll do something. He knew when he wanted Giannis, man. Before Giannis got drafted, he wanted the man, and look at
if you want
Giannis now.
another, if you want another Pascal slash Draymond, Scotty Barnes is available. But yeah,
Oh, we're getting
draft is
Cade. We're getting
this
first.
draft is the draft is deep. The draft is but I think that's it though. I think we talked about every series.
Yeah, we did. Oh, before we end it, I wanted to say, my official prediction for the second round is every series will be 6 games. Jazz in 6, Atlanta in 6, Suns in 6, and Bucks in 6.
Okay. I think I had Sixers in 6, Clippers in 7, Suns in 6, and what was the last series? I
Atlanta, you
forgot.
said it. Oh, Nuggets. Oh no, you said
Oh
Nuggets,
no,
Suns,
Nets. No,
Clippers.
Brooklyn. I have
Yeah, yeah.
Brooklyn in 7.
All right, so you have 2 7s, 2 6s, right?
Yeah, 2 7. All right. Okay, that's where we're gonna end the episode. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this one. We'll see y'all later as always. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And yeah, peace.